Hello everybody, John Fulford here. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Link to the Discord in the description. We are starting a Spotify playlist. So there's a category on the Discord link that you could add your songs to that I will take and add to the playlist so we could all listen and enjoy each other's music and help each other get some much needed streams, okay? So there's no songs right now on the Discord in that category, so you could be the first one. So if you want to throw a song into that Discord, link is in the description. Traps for sync licensing, things that might not derail your career per se, things that might slow your career down. I got some notes written on my steel drum. So if you see me looking this way, that's what I'm looking at. First trap. Too many writers for lower budget syncs, okay? Lower budget syncs with too many writers. This causes two issues. Number one, the lower budget the sync, and you have a lot of writers, the less your share becomes, okay? If there's a $1,000 sync, okay, which isn't low anymore, not these days, not, you know, okay, let's say it's a $200 needle drop, and there's 4 writers, that's $50 going your way. If it's a $4,000 needle drop on some show and there's 4 writers, that's $1,000 going your way, okay? So again, things that might not derail your career, but might slow it down a little bit. Also, the more writers generally means it's harder to clear. So if someone is going for there's a music executive, music supervisor, editor, film director, ad executive, etc., that's looking to fill a $200 needle drop, and he or she sees 4 or 5 writers with different publishers, different contact info, even though it's a good song, they might pass it over in favor of something more easily clearable. And some of your songs you don't want to be easily clearable. Some you do and some you don't, right? Some songs you might be self-published, but the person you're writing with might be signed to Warner or something, okay? So some songs you do might not be easily clearable. If all your songs are easily clearable, that means you're writing with the same group of people, which is good for a while, but it's good also to branch out, you know? Sync trap number 2, trend chasing. Remember dubstep in 2012? Stomp clap music, which I think will always be a trend, but there's so much of it now that the odds of your stomp clap song getting used is lower than it was. I think it's lower every year. Kanye West Black Skinhead style, boom boom-ka-ka, boom boom-ka, boom boom-ka-ka, boom, like that, what is it, 6/8 or something beat? There's a lot of that. It's good to have some of it, but if you base your whole catalog off stuff like that, trend chasing, you might get syncs here and there, but you should be forward thinking. Everybody has a lot of dubstep cues that got used a few times but aren't getting used now. So maybe instead of 3 dubstep albums, you could have done 2 dubstep albums and a holiday album, right? That'd be a better mix of music. Okay, sync trap number 3, too much time on lower budget stuff, okay? Too much time on lower budget stuff. You should spend a lot of time on lower budget stuff, but also apportion time to work on higher budget things, okay? If you have 50 hours a week to work on music, yeah, I said 50 because we're trying to make a living here. We're trying to build a catalog. Maybe 40 hours on lower budget and 10 hours on higher budget. And then a couple years later, it's 20 hours on lower budget and 30 hours on higher budget. You want a good mix. Don't spend 100% of your time on the lower budget stuff, okay? That's good to build a base. That's some money coming in. And, you know, in the entertainment business, a bird in the hand is worth like 10 in the bush. Get that money, right? While you can, but always be striving for bigger syncs, okay? Bigger deals, bigger blanket licenses, distribution deals for your production music, all that stuff. Number 5, and this, I have to take my own advice on this, and I'm taking this advice better now than I did in the past. But this cost me a lot of money and credits. Ignoring briefs. What do I mean by ignoring briefs? Am I in focus? I'm just gonna keep going, guys, if I'm not in focus. And a lot of my most watched videos, I'm out of focus. because I don't have time to look. Okay, anyway. Ignoring briefs. What do I mean? A brief comes in for a specific type of music. You don't have it. That's fine. Copy the brief and put it in a notepad on your computer. Another brief comes in. You don't have that kind of music. That's okay. Copy the brief, put it in the notepad. That way, when you go to write new music, you look at your notepad, and if the same themes keep coming up, okay, so they want Spanish music. They want Spanish music. They want Spanish music. These other people want Spanish. Maybe get some Spanish music. So I know that I don't do that as much as I should. I really didn't do it before. Like, I'd see the brief and I'd ignore it if I didn't have anything, or I'd delete it or something because I don't want to be reminded that I didn't have the music. I should have copied, paste, copy, paste. So now I have a treasure map, a road map. And if the same type of music keeps coming up, like if it comes up twice from 2 different projects, from 2 different people, it's a no-brainer. You should be getting that stuff made, right? Okay, number 6, flakes / no sense of urgency. I spent too much time in this business, even going back to some of the first people I ever worked with in my life, okay, before, like when I was in high school, okay? I started doing music with other people in high school, and I should have done this from the jump, okay? I just turned 42 years of age, and I still have to do this. You can't turn a flake into a non-flake. You can't install a sense of urgency on people, right? I've had people, Russian singers even, I want to get money for the first track before we do another one. Okay, that's good. And now I have 5 songs in the Cannes Film Fest 2024 winning film Anora, and they don't even do music anymore, right? But to them, who cares? Because they're flaky. They don't have a sense of urgency. They don't want to do music in the first place. So, good thing I learned by then. I didn't wait on them and hope that they would come around someday. It's not like that. It's not like that, ladies and gentlemen. It's not like that. So you have to find people with a healthy sense of urgency that will show up on time and not give you some weird story of why they can't sing melodically into a microphone, even though all their social media shows them singing. And also, if someone, I might get in trouble for this, if you look on someone's profile and it says Gypsy Heart or Gypsy Soul, they're flaky, okay? Just don't do it. Be warned. I'm Gypsy Heart. Oh, I'm a gypsy at heart. Gypsy Soul. No. That's cool to be like friendly with and talk about music and stuff. Invite to the barbecue. Absolutely. Fine. You can learn a lot from them. Great. But to further your career, you need people that are going to show up on time, right? And deliver stuff on time. You don't have the luxury to be flaky, okay? No. Show up on time. Gypsy Heart, put that little arrow with the thing through it. Gypsy Soul, do. Okay? That is important. Write that down. Someone make a clip out of that and post it somewhere. No. No Gypsy Heart, no Gypsy Soul. Don't do it. You're not Stevie Nicks, okay? You're not Keith Richards. Show up. Number 7, don't rely on libraries to make a name for yourself. Make a name for yourself first, okay? Make a name for yourself. How do you do that? Especially if you live in a smaller town. Like I live in a smaller town in Florida. It's a college town, but it's a smaller town, even though it's a great town, really, really great town. The local paper, you could just call and email. So enough people called and emailed about me, and I got an article about me. Okay, so if you live in a smaller place, look at who's doing the websites, the blogs about like creativity. And I don't get a lot of press because I'm not I take a more blue collar, working class approach, even though now I own a few Airbnb houses. So when people talk to me, I'm very like, let's do this. Let's be successful. Let's take the project from A to Z. A lot of creative outlets don't like that. They want to hear about esoteric, ephemeral things, which I could talk about too, but it's not my favorite thing to talk about. So find outlets to put you on their website and blogs or newspapers. Make your own paper and do an article about yourself, whatever. So when someone Googles your name, types it into Google, things actually come up besides LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. There's actual like third-party media outlets doing articles about you, you know? That goes a long way because your reputation precedes you, you know? Number 8. This is number 8. Have better things to do than try and get syncs. What do I mean by that? And I had to learn this the hard way too, but it's more benefits than one. And it's kind of gonna become a theme of the channel here. Back when I would talk to music executives and they asked me what I had going on, all I could talk about was music licensing. And that's not good. It's just not good. Now when a music executive asks me what I got going on, we could talk at length about music licensing, but I could also talk at length about going to the gym all the time. I could talk about how when I got to the gym, I was so weak and feeble. I was probably the worst. Like hundreds of people have come and go from this gym. Everybody from kids with Down syndrome to senior citizens getting over chemotherapy to multiple Olympians, including gold medalists, have come and gone from this gym. And I was one of the most, if not the most unhealthiest people that came to the gym that didn't have some chronic disease or unfortunate set of life circumstances. Meaning, like, I was healthy. I could get into a car, get out of a car on my own. I could walk up the stairs. I wasn't on any medications for this and that, physical stuff. And so that was bad because I spent a lot of time hunched over like a crustacean in the studio. So now if you talk to me about the gym, I could talk at length about the gym. Like yesterday I took 10 pounds off my bench press max. I did four sets, 3 reps. So that means my bench press max is higher than what I'm doing. I've been kind of cheating myself a little bit. So now this week coming up, we're gonna see what my real bench press max is. See, I can just talk about it. I don't have to write that down. Or if you wanna talk about like Airbnbs, I've been doing Airbnbs now for almost 5 full years. So we could talk about that, different stuff. And then when it comes time to talk about licensing, syncs and stuff, then everybody's relaxed. You're not being pressured into a conversation, okay, about any one thing. Relax, have fun. Your music should speak for yourself. And again, on this channel, this is a disclaimer. This is assuming your music is great. If your music isn't great, we're gonna do some videos on that stuff too, but your music has to be great. Having great music just gets you into the game, into the sales arena, so to speak, So if your music isn't great, then we'll work on getting it great. Even if, you're writing stuff that's 100% you and it's not that great, it's better to have a few songs that you wrote 20% of or 10% of than songs that you wrote 100% of that aren't any good. Is that it? That's it, everybody. Email me, musiclicensingpodcast@gmail.com, Discord link in the description, and I'll see you next time.